Hello, Barrels Banter enthusiasts. We bring you episode 11, and in this podcast, we have a banging tale about a dog and a boy. We have a firing line debate on opinions on Labrador hip scores. Should an over-average dog be bred from? We have our field notes and anecdotes. It's your turn to shoot with drive names. We have a real field recommendation and, as always, confessions and questions. We've been so busy with these pods. I feel like you guys are sending in amazing ideas. You've got questions, you've got confessions. It's all going on. And actually some really good ideas for future segments. Like we have kind of run out of myths now. So we've gone past myth busting. We've now got your turn to shoot, and you guys are sending in more and more things, and we love it. So
I mean, it's crazy considering when we first recorded our first episode, we thought it might be our first and final. We thought we'd just give it a go and see what happened.
Yeah, it was a total punt. And now we're on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, tons and tons of different podcast platforms.
Amazing. No, they can't get rid of us.
No, exactly. In this episode, we have a banging tale, and this is one from me about my old dog, Grouse. We were living in France at the time, and I don't know if, I'm sure other people would have been in this situation. If you have a dog and they love the sea, and they go out and you know what it's like, you fling a ball into the sea, fling a dummy, and they're in and out and retrieving. And we were by a harbour, and the dog just got it in her head that she found a buoy. Not a really big one, but like a small buoy. It was really dummy shaped, to be honest with you.
Okay, not like a small child buoy, no?
Not a small child buoy.
Right.
No. A buoy that you would anchor a boat to.
Okay.
And it was like an oval buoy, and it looked a bit like a dummy, and she has this buoy in her mouth, and she's just decided she's bringing it back to shore. Well, obviously, dog doesn't appreciate it's tethered to the seabed. And I didn't really think anything of it, to be honest with you. We've all been there. Our dogs all had those moments, haven't they, where they've just kind of got something in their head and you let them get on with it and they come back later. We sat on the beach and we were south of France, so it was actually quite warm in terms of not compared to England, January, but probably about 15 degrees. But the sea was pretty parky, okay?
Yeah.
Pretty chilly. She's been out there for probably 5 or 10 minutes trying to bring this boy in. She's just swimming. She's not actually going anywhere. It's just basically just exercising herself. She's not very far out into the harbour. And I'm watching her and I started thinking, dog's going to get tired. This isn't great. I'll call her. Called her. Nothing. I whistled. Nothing. I end up with Simons shouting at her across the beach. Grouse, come here now. Nothing. I actually go and get pebble from the beach and I throw it pretending I'm throwing something.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh, wow.
And it's going on. And then we're probably 15 minutes in now. We've tried everything. We've tried pretending we're leaving. We've tried running up the beach. We've tried the child running around. We've tried running off, everything. And she's just still bringing this boy back. I mean, she's obviously made no progress whatsoever. So I then thought, right, well, she'll get exhausted. She'll come back in. We won't worry about it. And there was a lady further up the beach and she came up to us, obviously French lady, talking in French. And our French was okay, but it got a bit complicated. And she was effectively gesturing, what about some of these have cords that run underneath them that anchor them to the seabed, but then you can get extra bits that then wrap up. So what if she'd got caught in that and actually she's trying to swim back, but she can't physically swim back because her back legs are caught.
So then you started panicking.
And then I start panicking. You know exactly where you're going with this. I am actually oh my God, what if actually I'm just watching the dog drown? So I stripped off.
I thought you were going to say you volunteered Simon to do that.
T-shirts on, but I'm down to my pants. I'm like, it's okay. Pants, T-shirt. Shoes and socks come off and I wade out. I get probably up to roughly chest-ish height.
Was it really cold?
It was Baltic. I've got no towel. No one's expecting to go swimming in the sea.
Oh, God.
And we're not parked that close. There's a castle against this harbour and you have to park up the hill above the castle. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit of a walk back to the car. That sea was flipping freezing. Have you ever been in water where it gets to your lungs and suddenly all of the air goes...
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I can't breathe. Anyway, I get the distance from the dog of probably 1.5 meters, 2 meters. And she just let go and swam straight past me. Literally just went, oh, I think I'm in the shit now. And just swam straight back.
No.
And
left you out there.
Yeah. So I wade back. I've got my other dog with me. The other dog's come out for a swim. She's like, what are you doing with her? And then I go back and we all walk back to the shore and the woman goes, oh, it turns out she wasn't tangled. No, thanks for that. Everyone's on the beach watching. Yeah.
Watching this heroic moment about to happen where you save your dog.
No, and my dog was actually just being a complete and utter cunt. Are you allowed to say that on a podcast? I'm going to say it anyway.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, put that one out there.
We've just levelled up with the words in this podcast. We have levelled up
with the words. I actually couldn't believe it. I ended up, you know, when you're really cold and really, really wet, sliding wet jeans up over my soaked underwear with my wet top and
you're
walking
making me feel
back
cold
through the town with that.
I bet you were really grumpy at that point.
Oh, that was it. I was like, right, that's it. You're not going again. She was so naughty. That dog, I'll tell you another story that will just make you chuckle. She had this thing for just going on a jolly. Periodically, she'd just go, I'm just going to go for a walk. I was like, okay.
Well.
So one day, I was driving along quite a main road and there was vineyards all down the side of it. And she'd just gone off for a walk. I didn't realise she'd left the house.
Right.
I'm driving along this pretty main road, 60 miles an hour. And I was like, Black Labrador there. And then I thought, looks remarkably like my Black Labrador. Pulled over and I went, oi! And you've never seen a dog get in the passenger seat as quickly as that dog got in that car. She literally ran, sat down, stuffed herself in the footwell. And I went, oh, dear God, I'm in trouble.
All right. Don't start with giggles. I've not got time for that shit.
No.
Sorted? Cool. No. Not today.
No, I'm not.
Now we are onto our firing line debate, which is, if you had a Labrador with over average hip scores, would you breed from it?
That is so difficult, isn't it? I think, so somebody wrote this in and I think that they put something basically that the point is that the dog itself is above average, but the hip score is not great. Yeah. Not like terrible, but not under average. And so therefore, if you've got an exceptional dog, can you overlook the hip score? It's not sort of saying, oh, you know, I just want to breed from it for the sake of it. It's more that if you have got a dog that's particularly good, would you
risk it?
Would you kind of say, well, that outbalances it because it's an exceptional dog, etc. I think it's so tricky. Hip scores to me are... They're two things. One, yes, I feel hip scores are valuable because you do get some dogs that have terrible hips. My Otter's not got great hips. If I'd ever had her scored, like seeing her now, I'm sure her hips wouldn't have looked good when she was younger and I would not have made the decision to breed from her.
Yeah.
But I also have had dogs who have had higher hip scores, but they've been totally even. Like I've had a 5.5 or a 6.6. Well, I mean, if they're perfectly even. I had a dog, she had this thing about like being a kangaroo as a puppy. She was just a kangaroo. It was, I would say, 99% nurture, not nature. It was just how she... Not I brought her up to be a kangaroo, obviously, but she just was that way inclined. She completely settled down by the time she was about 18 months, which is fantastic when they're obviously hip scored.
Yeah.
Like before that. But she just had this real bouncy thing about her. She just had to jump up and down. And so obviously it had therefore worn both hips, but they were totally even. And I remember my vet saying, I don't think you should breed from her. And I said, well... on what is your justification? And they said, well, we only like to see dogs that are bred under double digits, 10 or below. Well, or below 10. And I said, yeah, but you've got to consider, what would it have been 15 years ago? A Labrador's hip scores were probably averaging 15 or 16. And now they're averaging like 11 or 12. And part of that is because it's so blinking expensive that if you are in any doubt or you go and you take your dog to have the x-rays done, there's a lot of people that will have the x-rays, look at them and say, I'm not going to go and pay 150 quid to the BVA to have those registered.
Yes, I won't register it.
Whereas in reality, anyone would have registered them when things were a bit cheaper. And I'm not knocking the vets. I'm not saying it's the vet's fault. I'm not saying it's the BVA's fault. But I think one has to consider there are a lot of people that then won't spend that extra money because they look at that dog and say, well, it's never going to pass. So why am I paying all that extra money to have a failed score added to the dog?
Yeah.
Whereas and you know, it's not for me to say that this would work as a business model. I'm not saying in that sense, but imagine the BVA was free. If you went and you paid your vet to do whatever it was, and automatically it was sent to the BVA and the BVA element was free.
Everyone's scores would be there.
And that would mean that the average would not be as low, because it would actually show up the true average of a breed.
Yeah.
And at the moment, in my opinion, again, as we've always said on these pods, these are our opinions. We are not experts. But in my opinion, it's skewed partly because people don't want to send things in because they don't want to spend the extra money. And so actually, if this person, and they don't talk about what this score is, and it may just be a hypothetical question. If this person is talking about a dog that, say, got, I don't know, a hip score of 7-8, actually that probably is not far off average if you account for that. If that hip score was 12-3, I'd be thinking, no. It's just so unbalanced. And actually you've got a bad hip at 12. You know, that is terrible. You really don't want to be doing anything with that. And now that could have been an accident. It could have been a nurture element and not a nature element. No one will ever really know. Would I personally be comfortable breeding from that? No, I wouldn't. But would I be comfortable breeding from a fairly even 5, 7, 6,
but
6?
Like a higher score, but like you say, but it is even score.
Yeah. And also you then have to say, you know, if you've got a dog that's a really good dog and it's, for example, like the kangaroo dog, or some people will work their dogs and not have them hip scored till they're, say, 2.
Yeah.
That dog might have done a bit of time in the field and you didn't hip score them till they were 2 or 3.
The
in
hips
which
are going to be a
case,
higher score anyway.
they are going to be slightly higher. And do you then have to say you've got to take that into account as well? I do feel some people, and I think particularly pet owners, and possibly because of the vets, I feel like the vets pressurise people to say, oh, it's really important. Hip score is really important. You need to have like elbows obviously is 0-0, but you need to have as low as possible. You don't want anything above X. And actually, personality is more important than a hip score. No, you don't want a terrible hip score, but if you've got a dog that has got an average of 12 on its hips and they're fairly even, but it is a phenomenal dog, then is that not better than a dog that's a bit of a git and has got a hip score of 2 or 4?
It's also one of those things as well, and I'm not encouraging people to do it anyway, but you can have a dog with higher scores that never has a problem.
Yes.
That breeds and the puppies are all fine.
Yeah.
You could have a dog with 0-0, perfect everything, that then gets problems, or then has a litter and one of those puppies in the litter has problems. It's not, it doesn't completely...
It's not a guarantee.
No.
There's no guarantee.
It's a help because, let's go back to 30 odd years ago, there's probably more dogs with problems because we didn't do the testing. Now, less people breed from higher scores, so it is whittling out the really bad ones. But I would say, like my older Labrador, he had great scores. He got arthritis and I had to stop working him a lot younger than I thought I would. Yeah. He seemed to get old really quickly, but he had great scores. We had this debate at work, actually, where I used to work, because we had a really nice dog. Everyone wants this dog. She is amazing, but she's got really bad hip scoring. And we really did debate it. We're like, let's just do it. It's just like, because she's
Can you remember what her hip score was?
I can't remember, no. But she's such a phenomenal dog. She's got no problems. No hip, do you know what I mean? She doesn't suffer from the problems, but we decided against it.
I think you can also, if you did have a dog that was, say, a 6-6, you could breed to a 0-0.
Yeah.
And actually, if you then look at it to a degree, that is going to balance it out a bit. And like you say, you could have a 0-0 to a 0-0 and it throws an anomaly.
Yeah.
And you've got a dog with terrible hips. I mean, there's lots of throwbacks out there where I think as a generalised view, the view is that the litter in general would hopefully be better as an average than poor hips to poor hips. Or poor hips to good hips. If you've got 2 good hips, you've got more chance of better. But again, no guarantees. And I get people that ring me up and they're interested in a puppy. I had someone this year and they just said, first question, what's the hips and elbow scores? I had a dog that had whatever it was. They'd had a dog with hip dysplasia or elbow dysplasia. And that's what we want to know. Are we going to end up with it again? And I said, look, I'm going to be entirely honest with you. I could give you a 0-0-0-0. And actually, it doesn't give you a guarantee. Yeah. And I don't want you to ever think that there will be a guarantee. And anyone that tells you there is
is lying.
So you need to know there remains a possibility.
Yeah, it's a lower chance.
Yeah.
But it is still a possibility.
So I think, and again, this person that wrote the question and said that it would, if the dog was above average in terms of its ability or whatever, I suppose it would depend on what above average meant.
Yeah.
Some people think that their dog's above average when actually it's sort of, possibly the Trixabelle situation. Oh, my wonderful little Trixabelle is always fantastic. She should be an actress when she's older. And everyone's looking at her thinking,
I think if you're not sure, again, I don't know this person, you might not be hugely clued up with the situation. If you're not sure, find a professional to ask. Ask somebody's opinion. Do you know what I mean? These are the scores, but my dog is phenomenal. Get some other people's opinions if you're not 100% sure.
You could go to a stud.
Yeah.
Not an any old Joe blog stud, but like a sort of somebody that studs dogs regularly and say, this is what I've got, this is what I want to know, etc., etc. Because those people that have proper studs, if you like, we were talking about studs the other week, somebody that's got 5 or 6 studs and that is what they do, they will be able to also help guide you, I think.
Yeah.
But again, without actual scores, and this could just be hypothetical.
Yeah, it could be,
can't really truly answer.
Yeah.
But I think it's an interesting debate. I do think some people do hold too much weight, though, on scoring.
Definitely.
But I'd be interesting to see. I would be interesting to see.
Or interested?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see. In fact, that's not true either. It's here. I would be... Right, guys, I think I'm having a mental breakdown. No. I would be interested to hear if any of you have an opinion on this, because some people will be that, no, I would only be interested in 0-0, and some people would be a lot more flexible. It'd be interesting to hear people's opinions on that.
Yeah, give us your feedback.
I'll feed now.
That wasn't even English. What
was that?
That wasn't even English.
I don't even know if that was words.
What the fuck?
Woo! Oh God! Can I just say, guys, we're filming this slightly later than we normally would, and I think it's
what is it they say with children? Danger nap time.
The witching hour. That's what they say. I think it's the witching hour.
This is when me and Selena start getting a bit sleepy. Go on, you can do it.
Yeah, thank you. Field notes and anecdotes this week, and we have booked our trip.
We have. We're going away together.
We are.
It's going to be our first.
Although Sarah keeps going, I want you to come to the Czech Republic with me. I want you to come abroad with me. And I'm like, no, Sarah, I don't think I can cope with that. So this isn't officially abroad, but it is over a border.
Could possibly be the furthest we go together.
Could be.
Yes, you've invited me on your little Scotland trip, which is really exciting.
We go every year and we go to the same place because we're creatures of habit. But no, it's a long story, but we know a guy that runs a shoot for a Dutch syndicate, and then we ended up meeting a chap there, or Simon did, and then conversations flowed, and he turned out he was a gamekeeper for someone, and then we met that someone, and now we're all friends, and everybody loves everybody.
And you go every year. And it sounds, every time you go, I'm like, oh my God, it sounds amazing. I'd love to come. But this year...
You are.
I'm coming.
Listen, if it's not good, it's entirely your fault for jinxing it.
Because it's been good every year. What are we doing? I think we're doing some grouse shooting.
Yes, so they will count the grouse when we hit the summer, and then the plan is to shoot some grouse. They've got really nice butts and stone butts and some wooden butts and things. So it's driven grouse, but small bags. So it's nice because it means that we dip in and out of everything when we're there. We do some on the grouse. If the geese are in, which usually they are that week, but obviously they're a migratory species, so it is what it is. Usually the geese are there, so we go up and we do the geese off the loch. There's anything up to about 60,000 geese on this loch, and it's just crazy. I think
surely we'll be able to hit one of them.
Well, you would hope so.
Imagine that amount.
But amazingly, it's actually not that easy. The sound, I think, is the thing that hits me every year.
It's such an amazing sound, isn't it?
But with that many, you can kind of hear them coming. So that's really cool. We normally do a duck flight one evening as well. There's a couple of ponds there. So it's wild teal and mallard. And we have a day partridge on the moor. That's really good. They have a pipeline and it runs, I think it runs to Edinburgh. Edinburgh's water.
Right.
It's this great big pipeline. And so there's a road that runs all the way up through the moor and the pipeline zigzags up through it. And then you shoot what they call the pipeline drives. So they're fast and furious partridge coming off the moor across these really steep little goyles.
Yeah.
And then we also do another day that is mixed species, which is my favourite day.
Yeah.
Anything legal goes. And we can shoot a real mixed bag. So you get things like your corvids and your pigeons, but also you might have hare and rabbit and snipe and woodcock, and then you've got your pheasant and your partridge and your duck and your teal and geese as well. We've had those, and that's great because it's small drives. There might be like where one team are walking and one is standing. There might be a bit of walked up. There'll be a mini driven section. You might find yourself in a snipe bog. You might find yourself on a drive by a woodland. It's like the corner of a cover crop or spinneys. I find that one a really good day because it's got all the banter and all the fun of a day, but you just don't know what's coming next. Yeah. And those are really good. And the keeper's really good because he will often say, well, we've got this as an option or that as an option. Or let's go here, but did you want to do one of these two in the afternoon? And sometimes we can kind of tailor it as we go. Hopefully the weather will be okay.
I can't wait. We're all staying together.
Yeah, so we're all staying in the lodges up, which is kind of on the moor. So you don't even have to travel that far in the morning.
Oh, amazing.
Literally, climb out of bed, bang.
But yeah, anyway, I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Watch this space. I'll either be invited again or banned after this one. We'll see. Now on to our real field recommendations. And this episode, we are going to be recommending Acme whistles.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of these whistles. It's a funny one because I think over the last few years, people have either loved them or I don't want to say hated them because that's not very fair, but they brought out a new type of whistle and it divided people a bit. I'd used Acme for donkey's years and I think you can get, there's like snidey copies of their whistles out there.
Right.
But I've never bought one, but I've heard them and they sound weird and the pitch is never quite right. I don't really know if
they look the same, but they're not the same.
But whistle's like £8. Why wouldn't you just buy the actual genuine whistle?
Yeah, it's not like they're expensive.
Then go and buy a snidey one for £6.
Acme's been around a long time as well, hasn't it?
Oh my gosh, they've been around. They do all the refereeing whistles and all of that. Yeah. They do everything. So I really like their whistles. They had the solid plastic ones and then they brought out the new Alpha whistle, which is like slightly rubbery.
Yeah.
Some people say that they thought that when you got water in the more rubbery ones that they stopped working. I can't say I found that. But to be fair, I have had water in all of my whistles over time and sometimes you just need to just blow it out. I had a feather stuck in my whistle once, right? I threw a massive I was literally trying to blow this whistle. It wouldn't work. I was like, stupid bloody thing, doesn't work. How can a whistle fail on you? And I kind of like took it down and shouted for the dog to come back. And then I looked down, I was like, oh, it's actually got a feather.
Because it's got a feather in it.
Like I'd obviously had a partridge or something in my hand. This feather had gone in through the hole and just stuck inside the whistle. So poor Acme can't really do a lot about that.
No, that's a you.
But I really, really, really like these new Alpha whistles.
Yeah, I do. I find them much nicer.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those where when something changes, people automatically go, don't like it. But
I'm a bit funny about stuff on my teeth as well, and I find the plastic ones sort of do your teeth in a little bit. I know it sounds mad, but you do hold your whistle in your teeth, don't you, a lot of the time?
Well, yes, and these rubber ones, I tend to keep it in my mouth more than the plastic ones I would have lifted up and put back down. And I think that's better because when you want the dog, you're not constantly trying to lift your whistle up. I will hold it in my mouth longer than I would ever have done the plastic.
Yeah.
I actually find the feel of it much nicer.
The colours have got much nicer as well. The colours are pretty cool.
They've got some nice colours.
Yeah.
They have got some nice colours. Although they don't do glow in the dark in that one. Maybe it's not possible, but I would like a glow in the dark whistle.
Oh, because you're often out training in the middle of the night, are you?
No, but I've got a collection, okay? And I really need the glow in the dark one.
Yeah, you're never going to take that whistle out in the dark.
Yeah, but I've got the glow in the dark one in the solid plastic and I need the glow in the dark one in the rubber. It's just part of my collection.
Right, okay. Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So for all you dog trainers of the night...
It's basically so that sometimes I can just tuck it in my thing and go, oh my God, that's so cool, it glows in the dark, and then put it back out again.
Okay, everyone look down my coat. It's glowing in the dark.
Yeah, that's basically why I require it. But we don't get paid for these. These are just us chatting about things that we have.
We just like to share good stuff, don't we?
Yeah, and I do. I don't know why anybody would ever buy a cheaper version when they're already so well priced for what you get. And I actually think that they are the bee's knees. And these new alpha ones, I find travel a lot better than the original plastic ones. I don't even know if they're making the plastic ones anymore.
Say, just reiterate the sound, not the actual whistle when you're throwing it at the dog.
The sound
travels
further.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you lob the whistle, I can't tell you which one travels further.
No.
You can tell me.
I'm going to go with the plastic one. I reckon it's a bit heavier.
No, I think the plastic one's really light.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's been a long
I've got a couple of old
time.
plastic ones. I've kept them just for posterity.
They might be worse than one day.
No, I've kept them because...
Back in my day when we had
One of them was a nice shade and the other one is glow in the dark.
My other recommendation for Acme whistles, shoot me down if you think I'm crazy, put them in the dishwasher.
Do you?
Yeah. I haven't tried the new alpha ones. But the old ones, to wash them, I used to just put them in the dishwasher when I put my dishwasher on. Come out sparkly clean.
Do you know what I do with mine? Every day, after a shoot day, I boil the kettle, fill a mug up, and then I put my whistle in the mug, rinse it under the tap. I do it every day.
Yeah, I just chuck it in the dishwasher.
I never used to do it with my whistle.
Yeah, but they get gack, don't they?
Well, and then one day I actually looked in it and I was like, I don't even know how I've not got like diphtheria or something from this. This is pretty grim.
They get some crap in them.
Well, I wash mine every time now.
Try dishwasher.
It gives me the ick. That's a good idea. All right.
If it shrinks or breaks, don't come at me.
I'll go back to Acme and start complaining.
Yeah.
I'll be like, listen, put you on our podcast. How come? It's your turn to shoot this week and we're doing drive names again. Now, I have had a couple. I've got one here and it says, the best was Willie's Corner. Now,
okay.
I'm sure you've got thoughts on this. It's not what you think. It says, where Willie fell off the back of the game cart and had to walk to the next drive.
Yeah, my mind was going elsewhere with that one.
But we've all had one of those, haven't we? And no one stopped for them. And then there's another one and it says, we have Hot Point Corner.
That makes me think of a dishwasher or something.
It was where a washing machine was fly tipped 20 years ago.
That's a good one, actually.
I like that.
I have some also. So we have one here. It says, we have a drive we've nicknamed Dogger's Corner. And yes, we have come across a few people doing their nighttime exercises while out foxing before. Naked Lady Drive in Dorset. It's on my friend's shoot, due to me looking for a big seeker stag one day that was holding the area. After leaving my friend to feed up, I sneaked off up a cut ride and came across a lovely young woman doing a naked photo shoot, laid on a huge fallen oak tree. I rushed back to tell my mate to come quickly, and he thought I'd
come quickly. Sorry.
You're filthy. He thought I had shot the big stag. Then I showed him the naked lady having the photo shoot and my 65-year-old mate was gobsmacked. He then left me to go and kindly asked them to leave as they were trespassing. So it's now called the Naked Lady Drive.
Oh, wow. Why would you ask them to leave because they were trespassing? Why didn't you just let her finish herself? Yeah. It's all right, love. You
finish her business.
You wait there, my mate's just come. Sorry.
So inappropriate.
Sorry.
The Merkin.
It's not actually. It's very appropriate.
The Merkin.
Nice. Retro.
For some reason, we christened it the Merkin, probably due to it being a bit hairy to beat through, but worth it in the end.
That gives me 70s porn cringe.
How many fantastic names are out there?
Until
we did this segment, I was actually just living in my own little bubble.
I feel like ours are
names.
really lame now.
You need to up your game.
We do need to up our game. I feel like we were really into our drive names. Now I just feel like we've just failed. We have a new section that we would like to bring out next week. We're going to come back to drive names, keep them coming in. Do not forget them. We love this bit. But we're going to do a bit of a this and that to keep things fresh. So if you have any this or that, send them to us and we will do a couple of quick fires. I think we'll just quick fire them over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it could just be like, I don't know, sweets or chocolate, hot drinks or cold drinks, shooting or fishing. Do you know what I mean? Those sort of questions. I just thought I'd tell people. In case they don't know what this and that is. They might not know.
How on earth can you not know what this or that is?
You come out with a lot of shit that I don't know what it is. So just, appealing
qualifying
to
it for people.
There might be some elderly people listening to this that aren't down with the kids with the this and that.
Okay.
I'm Equal opportunity.
Equal opportunities.
Yes.
The disability register.
Anyway, please
HR.
comment if you didn't know what this or that is, just to prove a point to Celine, please. Thank you very much.
0 comments.
Please, just at least one
If
of you.
you do know what it is, please leave us a 5-star review.
Oh, yes, don't forget to do that. We
And
love
a
your
comment.
comments. Yeah, we
And a
love
nice
your
comment.
comments. Yeah.
Although, I was very impressed. A few weeks ago, we had one for your jingles. You haven't brought the jingles back, have you? We had one. We were talking about this. Jingles haven't come back.
Somebody specifically gave me a 5-star review for my singing and my jingle.
Yeah.
Next episode, I'll prep a jingle.
Okay. Fine.
Stay tuned. Peace out.
The question of the week has come in from somebody whose name I haven't written down, so I apologise. I am looking to join a small farm walk one, stand one syndicate this year. What should I know before I sign up?
You're going to have to walk one, stand one.
And we'll leave that there. There is the insight of Sarah. Well, yes, obviously, you are going to need to appreciate you are going to have to walk one, stand one. I genuinely think some people don't necessarily put 2 and 2 together there. So I would just consider your clothing.
Yeah, because you're going to be doing a lot of walking.
Yeah, and then you're going to stand still.
Yeah.
So you're going to be hot, then you're going to be cold, then you're going to be hot, then you're going to be cold, and then you're going to be walking through a cover crop, which you might get soaked. And then on a dry day when it's sunny, you might then be stood on peg, quite hot if you're wearing plastic trousers. And so you need, for me, I would be thinking ahead, like when you're going to the game fair and stuff like that, what do I need to buy?
Yeah.
Because it's not as simple as you're stood on a driven day. And it's also not as simple as you're beating, because you're basically doing both, but you're alternating. So consider how you're going to layer, how you're going to take layers off, how you're going to keep dry or waterproof. You know, a gate is going to be better suited for you. Are they cover crops, or are you walking through woodland? All those sorts of things.
Get yourself a decent, comfortable gun slip. The reason I say that is I've done it before when you walk one, stand one, and sometimes you go straight into the drive, so you actually got your gun with you.
Oh, wow, I've not done that.
Yeah, I've done that. It depends how close the drive is. Sometimes you go back, but it might be that literally, right, you're now going to beat this straight through. So you just take your gun with you.
Yeah.
So just maybe consider, like I say, it's not often, but I have had that before.
And also on that basis, then you probably want to consider jackets or waistcoats with big pockets.
Yeah.
So you can load up your cartridges, but not then be carrying a cartridge bag. So you could leave the cartridge bag. If you were doing back-to-back drives, you would leave the cartridge bag in the trailer, but you would take what you require just in your pockets.
In your pockets, yeah.
You'd shoot your drive, you'd walk a drive, or vice versa, walk a drive, then you'd shoot your drive, and you would have the minimal amount to carry with you. I think on that basis, you also need to consider if you were somebody that had a dog, do you want to have a dog that you, like, it'd be different if you, I don't know if this person is like experienced in this, but maybe initially you'd want to leave your dog at home.
Just to
so
get
that
used
you're
to it,
not trying to chuck a dog in the mix of then walking the dog and having them on peg. That dog would need exposure to the whole situation separately, because a beating dog then put on peg is a lot of pressure from one to the other. But also you just need to consider, is that going to be a brain overload for you when you're thinking about all of the elements of the day?
Just get a feel for it first, go out a couple of times, and then you might go, actually, yeah, perfect, this is easy, I can take the dog as well.
Yeah.
Or you might go, well, actually, it's a bit too much for me.
Yeah, exactly. And also if you don't know how long those drives are going to be, so you can test it. If you're obviously, I don't know, walking through a drive and you're doing a 45-minute drive and you think, okay, my dog will be okay to then sit down for a bit on peg, that's not too bad. Or you might find that the drives are quite quick. All you've done is egged the dog up, the dog's got all hyper, and now you're saying now you've got to sit here for half an hour and you can't move.
Yeah.
You've got to kind of judge that one as to what suits your dog best. I would also say probably with a lot of the walk one, stand ones, not all of them, but some of them, the expectation is that everyone is part of a syndicate. So is it a syndicate walk one, stand one, or are you buying into it? Some of them will have like a lead keeper. So there might be a person that runs the syndicate and they effectively maybe take a small wage for gamekeeping, or they gamekeep for free because they just enjoy it. And others, there's an expectation that you attend X number of work parties. You might be feeding a drive yourself. So what is the expectation from the shoot on what you're going to do physically yourself?
Yeah.
Because some of them, again, you might pay a little bit extra, but you're buying yourself out of having to do the work.
Yeah.
And another one, you may find that actually the price is slightly cheaper, but you've got to turn up every week.
Yeah.
You've got to do X, and the expectation is on you to do that. And it's whether you've got the time to dedicate to it.
Yeah, so just find out beforehand.
Just know the expectation. Can you achieve what they're expecting from you?
Yeah.
Or actually, do you need to go for something with less sort of pressure?
And also be prepared that you can guarantee the best drives will be the ones that you're walking and you're not standing.
Yeah, you also do need to consider that. You know?
Yeah, you need to be open-minded. And I'm not saying it will always be like that, but don't get disheartened. Like your first day out, you think, oh my God, every drive that was a good drive, I was beating that drive through. That's not fair. But you might find next time it's the other way round
on you.
You just can't odds it. And a drive that is normally not great might be good one day, or as good might not be so great that day. There is no being able to tell.
I think you don't want to be a big bird counter if you're going to be in that situation.
Just enjoy it.
You're going for the day. You're going for the experience. Often those shoots are the ones where you're, like I said, you're keepering a bit yourself.
Yeah.
So you're getting the all-round experience and the day out. And
Yeah.
also the other thing to say, 11s is. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the expectation is that each person will be in charge of 11s. So it might be that, you know, one week it's John, the next week it's Mark, then it's Janet, then it's Linda, whatever.
Or you all bring something.
Or you all bring an item. What's the expectation in that as well?
Yeah.
I would have thought that if you met with the shoot captain to have a look, that he would present you with these things. But those would be the key questions. What are you expecting from me in terms of work prior? What are you expecting from me in terms of food on the day? And then how sort of the layout of the day in terms of how long you're going to be waiting around between drives, or so that you can work out what you're going to layer up in.
Yeah. Good luck. Enjoy.
Yeah, but have a good time. I'm sure you'll find a nice one. There's loads of those. We've got a couple in our village, actually, that are that way. I always think, we were talking not long ago about the mini driven, just the middle of this pod, when we were talking about going to Scotland, and those kind of days, I really like those because they are, I'm not really, well, you're probably similar. Neither of us are big shotgun shooting people, and we sort of pick up a bit more. But I think both of us, the pressure of a big day, I get very flustered. I actually prefer a smaller day.
On peg for long.
No.
I get twitchy feet and whereas if you said to me, let's go for a bit of a boundary day and walk around, perfect.
Yes.
Let's just keep, do you know what I mean? You're on your toes a little bit more, you're looking, I don't know, I find that a little bit more thrilling personally.
Yeah, so have a lovely time. Confessions, our favourite part, is here. Sarah.
It is. And this one is as new to me as it is you, because Celine has just handed me the bit of paper, so it's a surprise for
Someone
me
sent
as
this
well.
in. I actually don't think I've read it, to be fair. So let's hope it's a good one. I just whacked it on a piece of paper, sent it through to you. I made it anonymous. You don't know who it is.
We should start giving people names.
Okay.
This is from Gertrude.
Gertrude. Oh.
Strong.
Okay.
I pride myself on looking the part. Polished boots, proper tweed, matching slip. Except I'd zipped my gun slip shut with the end of my tie inside it. When I attempted a dignified unzipping at the peg, I effectively tethered myself to my own shotgun. There is no masculine way to explain why you're attached to your firearm by formal neckwear.
That is hanging there. Something that you or I would do.
Oh, 100%.
Like, I can see that. I can just see me walking around like that. Although Gertrude, him, maybe we need to just consider our names.
I mean, you did turn up to a shoot day with a pair of knickers stuffed in the side of your leggings. So.
I did do that.
You did.
I did.
So,
and didn't
possible.
find them until I was actually tucking my clothes in, made eye contact with the beater, and then pretended that
found a pair of
I
knickers.
hadn't found the knickers, and just sort of slid my hands down the sides like, I'm just going to stand here really normally, casually, and then I'm just going to back out the door.
I'm going to go and throw my knickers in the truck. That was a good one, like that. Oh, have you got one?
I have. And this person needs a name too, please, because this is anonymous.
Phil McCracken.
Phil McCracken! And Phil has written, Just been listening to your podcast and thought I'd tell you a story from picking up a few weeks ago. We were out together, Ben and myself, which doesn't happen very often. It was a dry day, but wet underfoot to recent rainfall. Having finished drive 3, we were heading towards the road and out of the field and noticed up ahead a friend of ours had got herself stuck in the gateway. Being a team, we immediately stopped to get out and give her a push, telling her to gun it as soon as we said go. We began pushing. She floored it, and as she moved forwards, we were splattered head to foot in what we thought initially, oh dear God, I feel like I know where this is going, was mud. But within seconds, realised that it was in fact shit. Oh. This was bad. We were absolutely plastered in the stuff. It was hanging off my hat, splattered all over my glasses, and my coat and breeks were now brown pebble dash of sludgy crap. Laughing, we get back in the truck, gagging slightly from the smell. We radioed the shoot captain and other pickers explaining what had happened, and when we catch up, the shoot captain owner breaks the news to us that it was in fact...
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say it, aren't you?
Oh my God.
Shall I guess?
I can't even.
It's human shit, isn't it?
Human
that
shit.
They've been spreading.
Oh dear God. Everyone is absolutely dying with laughter as we stand there covered in poo, examining our whistles, realising that they are also lagged in human excrement. The drive has now been renamed Poo Corner, and no one can pass the gateway without taking the piss and laughing about our unfortunate encounter. I think we're lucky we didn't die of dysentery. I mean, I'm going to be entirely honest.
I would have had to have gone home.
We talked about dysentery a minute ago with the whistle, and I cannot believe that actually has come up in this thing. But that, I actually
would you have finished the day?
Myself.
Yeah, but would you have finished the day?
I would have taken my clothes off there and then.
Yeah.
I literally would have just been stood naked in the field.
I would have just been thinking of norovirus and all sorts.
Oh no, I would have been absolutely butt naked. I would have been wet wiping the inside of my mouth. I would have been like wet wiping my hair.
Give me that slow gin, I need some mouthwash.
I'd have been, oh God.
I was about to say, what was it, like cow shit or something?
Yeah,
I didn't
that's where I was like mud, and then it was like initially, and
oh no. My God, that's awful.
Oh, if you've got a horrific story, could you save it and just send us the funny ones?
God. We normally love a poo story. I don't know if I like that one.
No, I don't know if I like that one either.
Thanks, Phil McCracken.
And on that fantastic note, we might see you next week, or we might actually just be too depressed to come back again.
We will be back.
I might not be.
I might not be.
I don't know if I can cope.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
Send in your nastiest stories. See if you can make us gag. Never know. Okay. Oh, that's going to be taken the wrong way. I was about to say, quite partial to a gag.
And good night from Barrels Banter.
Good night, everybody.